Okay, welcome everybody. This is the family edition to the Tulsa Live podcast. And today I'm so happy because I have my family here. And it's really fun because we actually all work together and we love each other.
I was going to say that. We still love each other.
And we still love each other. So today I have Heather Lenz.
Hello.
Who, okay, really, let me go to Krista now. And then I have Krista, who's my sister.
Simply the sister.
Simply the sister. Yeah, yours is way easier to explain. So
it is.
a really fun tidbit about Heather and I and our relationship is I married Dirk, which is
my dad,
Heather's father. And we are, you're my daughter. No, you're my stepdaughter.
It's even confusing to us.
I don't even know. Basically, I just like, and whenever I introduce you as my best friend, it's Heather, this is my best friend, Krista. Like, you know, it's really easier that way, but it's really funny because we work together, and especially like to new team members or people, you know, from outside that don't know our family dynamic.
It's hysterical.
So I have to tell this story because it's so funny. So Heather and I are only 6 years apart, 6.5. So you need that
Almost
extra
7.
half. Yeah. Not really. It's actually less than 6.5. But anyway, 6 years apart. And so we are more like sisters. Krista and I are 4 years apart. So we're kind of all in there together. You're the little sister, I guess,
am.
of the three.
Makes sense.
But growing up, because we've been married now, Dirk and I have been married for, oh my gosh, we've been together for 18 years, which seems incredible to me. He's put up with me that long. But when we first got married and, you know, you got married to Chris not long after. And so I think you and Chris have been married how long?
12 years.
Okay, so a few years later, and then we had Noah. So Noah was a baby when you and Chris got married. And as Noah was growing up and trying to understand, you know, kind of this family dynamic and how everything works, because your dad has, you know, 3 daughters and then we have Noah together. And you had Maddie. So when Maddie was born, Noah was like 6.
Yep.
6, 7, somewhere in there.
Sounds about right.
And we were talking about Maddie being born and how she was this, you know, little baby. And we told him, this is your niece. And he just looked at me and he's like, Mom, am I a grandpa? And he was just so, I mean, like, he just could not figure out, like, I'm a brother, I'm a son,
I have a niece,
I'm
an
a niece
uncle.
now, I'm an uncle. And so it was just the most, like, adorable,
Precious.
like, terrible thing, because you're like, oh my gosh. But anyway, so there's that family dynamic there, which I love.
Yeah.
And we have worked together now for years.
Yeah.
And
since 2008, like at the beginning.
yeah.
We
So
were
we
in
worked together
Florida.
in Florida. We worked together in Oklahoma. You just can't get enough of me.
No, I lived with Krista.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Yes.
were roommates
Yep.
for several years.
Some of
You
the
were
best
there when
years
she
of
met
my life.
Chris.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
And
like
she
we-
still let me be with Chris.
right.
Right.
And aren't we glad?
Shocking.
Aren't we glad?
So glad.
Chris
So-
is a great guy, though.
So anyway, and then I met Matt on a plane
Yes.
back from Oklahoma. So like our family, we keep it real. Like we keep
do.
it close.
We
We keep it
do.
real. We are all up in each other's business.
Yep.
But it's really fun. So this episode, we want to share a little bit about, number one, how we work together, you know, what that looks like, what we do. You guys can tell like kind of the roles that you have in the company and how that has changed and how it still changes. And then I'd love for us to share, we're just coming off of some really fun events that we've had at our office. And then also the holiday season is upon us, and how that looks for us work-wise, how that looks for us family-wise. And then we also want to highlight a little bit of the really fun and cool things that we like to do together as a family here in Tulsa. Because part of the reason that we want to do this podcast, and it's really cool because a lot of the people are like, okay, is this all about real estate? And no, it isn't. This podcast is really about life in Tulsa. So hence Tulsa Life is the name of the podcast. And we want to kind of make sure that we keep that relevant. And for anybody who's listening, that we kind of, you know, are highlighting some of those fun things about Tulsa. And my, you know, most loved thing about Tulsa is that my family is close. And so we're going to kind of start there. So Heather, start us off, kind of introduce yourself. I know that I did, but tell us a little bit about your role in our company, on our team, and how much you enjoy working with me and Krista.
Oh, of course. I want to highlight that part. I love working with Krista and Aaron. So I'm Heather. I am the sales manager currently here. And my role did not start off this way.
Nope.
It started off back in 2017. I joined the team. I called Erin and I was like, can you please take me? I want to be a part of this. And she said, come on. So December of 2017. So I started right around the holidays, which was cool, in a totally different office. We were over on Columbia and 21st, much smaller than this. Like
it's like the size of this room.
Yeah, it really was.
It felt like it was really small.
So I started with the team then. I was an agent up until 6 months ago, maybe not even 6 months ago. Decided that my husband, Chris, he is my Chris too.
He is your Chris.
Would join us not too much longer after that, maybe about a year after that. He started as an agent as well. And then the growth side of the business was so exciting to me. So watching Erin create what she had created and then going, wait, I mean, maybe this could be more than just, 5 agents here in Tulsa, a small team. And I loved the vision that she had casted for, what the company wanted to be and what she wanted to do. And so thankfully, she let me kind of start tagging along on those conversations.
Now, tagging along is selling yourself short because basically Heather doesn't do anything without taking over.
That's true.
And so
good or bad.
it's amazing. It's great for us. And I think that you are not nearly as complimentary as you should be because of all that you have done and all that you have contributed back to our team, even before you were the sales manager, which made it a very easy transition. And some people are like, what's a sales manager? Yeah. Especially, what is a sales manager on a real estate team?
Yeah.
And so, in just like maybe 30 seconds, give us an elevator pitch of what all do you do? Because there's so much.
Yeah. So I don't know that this is the technical answer, but for me, it's to love on our agents and to pour into them so that they can be whatever it is they're wanting to be. Success is so different on our team. We have some people who, success looks this way and then some that it looks a different way. So for me, it's getting to know them on a personal level, getting to know the desires that they have both in work, outside of work, and then going, how do I play a part in their work life and their personal life to help them achieve those goals?
Wow, that was a great elevator pitch. That was perfect.
I've been practicing for a long time.
It's amazing.
I want to love our agents.
And you do a great job at that.
Them, be what they, I hate to say get better because it's not about getting better. It's about, diving into what it is that they want and
helping them achieve whatever it is that success looks like for them.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I love it.
You do so great. And I feel like too, the accountability side.
Oh, it's huge.
What you do to help hold them accountable and help encourage them it's just incredible. So
there's a fine line of, being in a position where you are holding people accountable and still encouraging them at the same time. So that's been interesting to kind of find that.
But you've done a great job.
But I love it.
We're lucky to have you. Our team loves you. You do a fantastic job, and I'm lucky to have you. And one of the cool things, about having this work-family relationship is the trust level, that we can share and that we know that, it goes so much further than just knowing that you're working with somebody and, you can never leave. So it's like one of those things that, we're lifers.
The golden handcuffs.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. So Krista, we'll transition over to you. Tell us how long you've been with us, what your role in the company looks like, and how much you love it.
Okay. Well, I'm sad that I didn't go first because now I have to follow Heather's little speech there. I'm a transaction coordinator. I have been with the company for about 1.5 years. I think I started like June of last year. I moved back from Florida.
And our hair at the same time. That was a sister thing.
Oh, it was. Sister.
Yes.
I work behind the scenes. I help the agents with a lot of their paperwork. Because we know that sometimes salespeople aren't the best with their paperwork, and that's fine, but that's what we're here for.
That's me.
So I'm very task-oriented, so that's my jam right there.
So I think it's really unique to point out, too, how different our personalities are.
Yeah.
And how well they really, what is the word I'm looking for, that they just kind of come together and that they
mesh.
Yeah.
Very complimentary.
Yeah.
They're very complimentary and they mesh.
And they
we'll,
mesh.
We'll take all of that.
Shows the different personalities of us. Complimentary
so
mesh.
Krista is also selling herself short because she does so much more than just the transaction coordination. The amount of support that you give to our entire team and our clients, and I think that's a very, very big piece of why we have really great clients and they have great experiences because it's not just being reliant on one person. They have, their agent, and then they also have the sales manager who's a extension of the agent. And then they also have you as a transaction coordinator who's going to take care of that entire transaction. And when we're talking about the transaction, when you're buying or selling a home, Krista is that pivotal person in the middle that's really orchestrating all of the things that go into buying or selling. And she's going to make sure that, we're keeping everything in order and that everything's falling in line. So it's amazing how much support you give both sides. And then also, I would say the support that you give to Heather and I.
Big.
And Heather and I have personalities that, we move fast. And it's really important to have people that
And I do too.
that we need that, like, okay, whoa, slow it down a little bit. Let's take a breath. Let's look at this. Let's make sure that, we're making great decisions and that we're not, because I would make decisions every single day that would just, be a lot of times disruptive or change. And when you have a bigger organization, that's not always the best tactic.
Right.
And so, it's interesting to me to see how all of our personalities really come together and complement, the common goal that we have. So I love that. So having said that and talking about our clients and kind of moving into like what we just came off of this last week. So we're the week after Thanksgiving and we just wrapped up our biggest event that we have of the year.
Fun.
And it's our Pie Day. And so Pie Day, so many people were like, Pie Day is in March.
Yeah,
like,
we got that a lot,
3/14, it's 3.14 pie. And I'm like, no. These are actually like pies that you eat. Mm-hmm. So what we do every single year for our client appreciation and to give back to our clients and say thank you is our Aaron Catron and Company Pie Day. And so we send out RSVPs and we usually have about 300 people that reserve pies. And it's really funny. They come through. This year we had a really cool like Chick-fil-A. We called it our Chick-fil-A line. And we distributed almost 300 pies. And it was really awesome. And then we invited everybody to come to our open house because we have a new office that we've only been in a few months. And we probably had at least 400 people.
It was insane.
Come to our open house.
Yeah.
So, those are the things that they get me excited.
It starts the season off, like, it's kind of the kickoff
of
the holiday season.
I say it's my birthday.
Yeah.
My birthday is really the kickoff.
Real kickoff. Of
course. It's
then
in October.
Pie Day. Pie Day is a second, a close second.
Yes. So it was so much fun. So Krista, I guess it was your second year.
This was my second go around. Yep.
So tell us your perspective of Pie Day and how was this year different and what is your favorite thing about Pie Day?
So last year I had no idea what to expect. And I was like, okay, that's great. We're just going to hand out pies. Cool. Like, why is everybody getting so excited about this?
A lot of our agents that were new this year, I think they felt the same way. They were like, okay, cool, it's Pie Day. Like, what does that mean?
But it's just so much more because I think my favorite part of it is actually coming together as a team, going to getting the pies and getting everything set up, decorating and hanging out like all day with everybody. It was just so much fun. And then I don't actually get to see the clients. Like I don't get to go out and meet the clients because I'm not an agent.
I didn't think about that.
And so for me, it's cool because I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that name.
I know you.
Like I've texted you, I've called you.
I'm a part of this transaction.
We've done a ton of emails, but
so it's really neat for me to get to see them come in and them interact with their agents, and because it's just amazing that I feel like our clients really love our agents.
I do too,
and it's just so neat to see that. So I think that's my favorite part. I think last year we were in the old office.
I know.
So it was so much different because I felt like last year I was a little bit separated from everybody because we were kind of in the front.
That's right. You had your office in the front of our old office.
And so this year I felt like I got to be a lot more a part of it. So
I felt like our office this year was it was amazing. Like I had people saying, oh my gosh, you should use this office as an event, space.
Yeah.
Like you could actually host events here. And by the way, it's not a bad idea. So if the real estate gig doesn't work out for us,
we have a great event space and a podcast room.
That's right. Oh, and the podcast room was a hit.
Yeah, people
I'm
love
telling you,
this.
I think we've got like people lined up now to be on our podcast from all different types of, work and careers. And they're like, oh, I could totally contribute to this. Yeah. And so I think the podcast room was maybe one of our biggest hits this year at Pie Day. So quickly, what was your favorite thing, Heather, about Pie Day and what do you love about it?
I'm different. I love the beforehand part of getting it started. I think that is my thing. I like texting all the clients, letting them know, hey, Pie Day is coming up. RSVP here. I nerd out on Excel spreadsheets.
Yes, you do.
So I'm looking at who's RSVPing and making sure they're tagged.
Yeah, you're so good at that, and we need that so much.
So that's kind of I think the actual Pie Day, I have that adrenaline that just kind of drops all of a sudden because I'm like, it's here. I actually told several people, I'm like, it's like wedding day is
It
here.
is. I was just getting ready to say the same thing.
The wedding day and all the planning is coming to fruition.
People don't understand, but you are planning an event for hundreds of people to come basically to your home.
Yeah, and
I mean, our office is very comparable to being our home.
and coordinating. We had some amazing sponsors who helped with different things to make sure that our clients had food and had drinks and had
We had
entertainment.
cocktails, we had food trucks, we had a DJ.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a party.
It was incredible.
It was.
It was
really
a party.
yeah.
So, and we
Best
love
year
it.
yet, for sure.
Which that's my favorite part is the party.
Yeah.
See, you like the
It's so-
planning.
yeah.
You like the getting together, prepping, and going with the
Yes.
team, and then I like the actual party,
It
getting to
works.
see everybody. So yeah, again. So let's transition again. From Pi Day, that's something that we do every year for our past clients. But let's talk about a little bit of, everybody talking about the podcast room. We were talking about podcast and what our podcast is about. So for us coming into the holiday season and this kind of being our kickoff to the holidays, let's talk a little bit about what Tulsa has to offer, what you guys enjoy doing in our town for the holiday season. And then we're going to wrap this up with talking about our favorite, maybe I don't know, bloopers isn't the word I'm looking for, but like the worst
Holidays gone
holiday
wrong.
memories that we have. Yeah, holiday gone wrong. I like that. So, Krista, why don't you start us off and tell us anything that you love about Tulsa during the holiday season?
So we've only lived in the area for a couple of years now, actually. So we're still getting the lay of the land a little bit when it comes to holidays because there's so much to do. Like every year you just can't do everything in one year. This year we actually went to downtown Sapulpa for the Christmas shoot, which was incredible. And it's just all decorated. It's so Christmassy. It really got me in the spirit. And that was even before Thanksgiving. So
You're one of those people.
You are.
I am one of those people.
I am too.
Not
I
as
am
bad
too.
as you, though.
I am too. When was your tree put up, Erin?
Oh, my tree's been up for a month.
Okay.
Like literally before Thanksgiving.
After
Before Halloween. I think it was
Oh,
right
you
at
went before
Halloween.
this year.
Yeah.
It wasn't decorated fully, but it was up.
Okay.
So it was up, and then so we'll talk about the tree decoration
Yeah.
in my house here in a minute. So the Sepulpa, how do you say it? Shoot? Is it
Christmas shoot.
Christmas shoot. CHUTE.
Yes.
Okay, so the Christmas shoot in Sepulpa is amazing.
It is.
And
It's really incredible.
if you haven't checked it out and you're listening to this before the holidays
Mhm.
are over, go check that out because it's really cool. And
Yes.
I feel like it's newer. I feel like that's a newer thing.
I think they've done it for a
they've
few
been
years. I think they
building on.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I've
I
never
just discovered
heard about
it this year.
I actually saw it on TikTok. Saw it on TikTok, and I was like, "Oh, this looks cool." And then I realized it's in our area.
It is,
which is really
and
cool.
it makes for really great pictures.
Yeah.
So like, take your family, go take some really cool pics.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that. Okay, Heather, what about you?
The Gathering Place has a really cool, I don't know what it's called. I want to say Winterfest. It's not the Arvest Winterfest, but it's at the Gathering Place. They have Santa, they have elves, they're dancing, they've got lights everywhere. They have some food trucks set up. They have a little kind of arts and crafts area set
And is this
up.
like an ongoing thing?
It is. I want to say it's for. I really should have looked at the details before this. That would have been smart, Krista.
Well, I
you
kinda
could
put you on
help
the
me
spot.
out.
I
Okay?
If
kinda
I
put
would
you on
have
the
known, you
spot
have to
there.
keep me in the loop,
Yeah,
Heather.
it's
Okay,
really.
you can look it up online.
Yeah,
So the Gathering Place has a lot of really cool things,
It
but
is
for the holidays,
and it's big too, so it's not just a small area. You can walk through. If you haven't been to the Gathering Place, this would be a good time to go. Parking gets a little bit crazy at nighttime. The tunnels are all decorated, so it's just a cool event to go and eat some food, see some arts and crafts, and then see the lights.
Yep. So I'm going to go back to the old good and faithful Roosevelt's.
So good.
Like I love going to Roosevelt's. I feel like that's like the kickoff for me. Like it's Roosevelt's is on Cherry Street. It's a restaurant and they go all out. Like, I mean, from floor to ceiling, it is decorated in Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
And they have light shows inside that kind of goes with the music and it's really hard to get into.
I was gonna
They
say,
don't
pro
take
tip.
reservations.
Show up early.
Yep, show up early. The best time, in my opinion, to go if you're just going to experience it, really like that 2 to 3 o'clock hour,
Mhm.
2 to 3:30 maybe tends to be a better time to be able to just get in. If you're going at night, just be prepared to sit at the bar for a bit or hang out and listen to the Christmas music. But it's a really really cool experience as far as getting to get in the Christmas
And their
spirit.
food is really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
They have great food, great atmosphere. There's also, some really other cool places. Arvest downtown, they have the ice skating. They have really a lot of cool stuff downtown that they do. What else?
I heard in Broken Arrow off
Rama.
of Rama.
Rama's
that's
always a good one.
I heard there were carriages, like horse-drawn carriages.
Oh, that's
down
cool.
on
Are they doing
in
it
the Rose District.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
don't. Again,
You're right.
probably should have looked at the details, but They're
There's
doing
so many
something.
things
There's,
to do.
There's tons of stuff.
So there's just so many things. Okay, so to wrap us up, I want to hear your favorite, the favorite worst holiday memory that you can think of, because I always think that's really funny, and everybody has them. I mean, it's like the Christmas story, or not the Christmas story. What is it? Christmas Vacation.
Oh, yeah.
Like everything goes wrong. There's always that Christmas or that Thanksgiving that you feel like Jen just told us the other day. She was making her turkey and she was brining it,
Yes.
and then she like lost the
All of
turkey
it.
and it just went
I think
everywhere.
the bag busted.
The bag
Yeah.
broke. So anyway, okay, Krista, you have a memory for us?
Okay, so we always we lived on 120 acres out just outside of Stillwater.
That's always funny. I thought it was 120 acres.
I think it's only 120.
Okay, I always tell everybody we live. See, that's just me. I just exaggerate everything.
Yeah,
Okay,
The fish
sorry.
was this big.
I'm always like, we lived on 160 acres. No, really, it was 120. Okay,
So we
keep
always
going.
thought it was great to go out and cut down our own Christmas tree. Well, we had the cedar trees. Like they weren't real Christmas trees. They're cedar trees. And so inevitably we would go out and always pick like the biggest tree we could find. And our house was not very big.
house was
I mean, we had
tiny.
like maybe 7-foot ceilings?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Dad didn't hit his head. He's 6 foot.
Yeah.
So. But it would always be too big. And our dad would tell us this.
Every
but
time.
Every time he would
Too
tell
big.
us this.
Girls, that's too big. That's too big. That's not going to fit in the house.
No, we had to do it. And then the one year we got one that was so lopsided that Dad had to string something to actually tie it up to hold it upright. So you could just see this big white string all the way around it. So
Decoration.
But it's great memories.
I feel like one year we had to cut off the top.
yeah,
get it
I
in.
think we did that.
And like it wouldn't fit, so we cut off the top. And we had some really cool Christmas trees.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did.
Okay, Heather, what's yours?
I think ours is probably going to be.
Oh,
very
gosh. I know which one
similar.
you're gonna say.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were going. It was actually Thanksgiving. We were going to go up to see my sister.
Morgan lived in Wyoming,
Wyoming,
Montana.
Yep.
I always get those confused.
Up north.
Yeah. Okay. She lives right by Salt Lake City, but
Yeah.
it was actually not
It
in
wasn't Utah.
Anyway.
I think it was Wyoming.
Okay.
So we were going to go up there and see her. A bunch of us. I mean, we had 2 vans, and the story's so long, so I'm going to try and just hit the
There was
major
so much
points
so
of it.
much.
So we get going. A huge snowstorm is coming. The Denver airport shuts down.
Like we're like, should we really go?
Yeah, and we're like, no, we shouldn't. But then we get on the road, and we're like, we're on the road. Like, if we're going to get on the road,
Just
we're
do
going to
it.
do it.
Just go.
So we keep going, and all of a sudden the interstate shuts down. So we're like, oh, let's just do the side roads, because surely those side roads are going to look great. I mean,
They're
since
going to
the-
be much better
much
than
better than the
interstates.
interstate, right? So we get on the side roads. Aaron is in our vehicle, and poor Chris.
Chris was driving.
Bless his heart. I mean, I'm
We
grabbing.
stuck Dirk with the babies.
Yes.
I was like, I'm not riding with the
Oh.
babies.
Yep.
I'm high maintenance.
She's not a baby person. So, but instead she got the big baby, and I'm up front crying like, oh, this is going to be horrible. And so anyway, we get through that. We
Chris
call
is
it.
driving, and he's like, Heather, it's fine. It's
I'm
fine.
hitting him. And so we pull over, get a hotel that night.
Wait, got to tell about the wipers real quick.
Well, that's the next
Okay,
day.
okay.
So we pull over, sleep. We're like, it's going to be great. Tomorrow morning, we're going to wake up and everything's going to be
There was
awesome.
nowhere to eat.
We ate at a gas station. Oh, we ate at Village Inn
Yeah.
by a gas station. It was
Yep.
horrible. Wake up the next day, get on the road, and we are barely on the road for like an hour maybe. And Chris's windshield wipers stop working. I mean, it's snow's coming. Big trucks are flying.
We're
we
driving in a
can't
blizzard.
see. So we stop at a
They're
gas
freezing
station.
up.
Yeah, they were
They're
freezing.
freezing up.
We stop at a gas station and get some wiper fluid, thinking that would maybe help. Well, the thing breaks, and so they're not working at all.
The wiper fluid was frozen.
Yeah.
It was so cold
And
that it was freezing the wiper fluid, so it could not spray the windshield.
So I'm thinking, let's put the wiper fluid in a water bottle, a squeezy water bottle, and I'll just hang out the side of the road and squeeze it. It'll be good. Don't do that. Did not work out well. It just came all back at me. So we end up going to the Denver airport to
We had to
return
switch
the vehicle.
out our vehicle.
And then we go a little bit further north, and then we decide this isn't
called it.
working, and we drove all the way back home. So we drove 12 hours to call, or more than that. We drove a long
it
time.
took forever. It
so
took
then
forever.
we get home, and it's the night before Thanksgiving, and
Wednesday
we have
night.
no
No food.
groceries. So Aaron and I are like crying because we're like, it's gonna be the worst
This is the
Thanksgiving
worst.
ever.
Yeah.
We wake
We're
up the
such
next
babies.
I know, we really are. We wake up the next day, and Mimi had cooked this
somehow.
Amazing Thanksgiving meal, and it was awesome.
I mean, it was cereal. No, just kidding.
we had yogurt and cereal. No, it was funny.
No,
but
she made like a Thanksgiving feast out of nothing. So
definitely one of those that I was like, wow. But we created some great memories.
We did.
And we can laugh about it now. We
did.
might have cried about it then, but we can laugh about
That's
it now.
right. And we'll never forget it.
Nope.
So, okay, well, we'll wrap it up today. That was a fun one. I felt like that was really fun. And hopefully you guys found it a little bit interesting to hear about our city, our office, the things that we did, and then just like our dynamic here together. So thanks, girls, for coming on today.
Thank you. Happy
And everybody, hope you have happy holidays. Merry Christmas now, because we're now in the Christmas season. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.